Alright, and we're back for game number 3 in the first 1v1 matchup at the Couch Cup between Food Please and Splay Buzzer. And the final game will be played at the home map of Splay Buzzer, which is of course Arabia. And now we have random civs, and luck is in favor of Splay Buzzer, who got the Mongols versus Vietnamese of Food Please. Now let's look at the map here. So Food Please obviously in the red, in this corner of the map. He has a very nice back gold over here. One gold in the front, stone to the side, which is okay. Another stone here behind this wood line. And yeah, he could try to wall his base. It's kind of open in the front, but the sides are easily wallable. Now on the other side, Splay Buzzer. He has his gold more forward, both his stones more forward, and one gold more in the back. So quite even the maps, I would say. I think that Splay Buzzer is a little bit more difficult to wall because he has to wall longer distances here and here and here. But still, there's no too big difference in the map generation for those two players, I would say. Now, obviously, what do we expect from these players? So, as the Mongols, you usually tend to go for a very quick uptime and then right into scouts, which are very strong for the Mongol player. Now, Vietnamese is a bit of a tough choice. But I think that our player in the red will probably go for his default strategy, which is Tower Wars and Laming, because that's what he can do best. Now, nothing much to say in the early game, of course. Both players taking their sheep, going to wood with 3 villages over here, and on the blue team or on the blue player it's the same. Let's look at the Fog of War. So Food Please, as a special bonus of the Vietnamese, he gets early information of the location of the town center of the opposing player, as we can see here. And he also sees that sheep are taken underneath the town center, whereas Splay Buzzer doesn't get the same information on the other side. Now he's scouting. He has basically found his major resources, found his elephant over here, and his rhinoceros over here. Now on the other side, Splay Buzzer, also scouting around, now idling his scout a little bit, found his elephant over here, and he's already taken the rhinoceros, of course, as he should be. Now he's going further forward, constructing a mill near the herdables, which is a interesting move. But of course, as the Mongols, you get better hunt, so this absolutely makes sense to go for the hunt instead of the berries over here. So that's a wise move right there. Villager-wise, it's very even, so equal population, but Food Please needs to take care that he doesn't get housed, of course. But he's already on the job building a house right here. He has not yet dropped a mill, but right now he's doing it, and of course he's doing it on the berries as expected. He's also taking the rhinoceros. He should now send a villager over here to the elephant to secure that stable food income. He also already has loom, so the luring is quite safe. I think there are some differences between those herdable animals. I think some are tougher than others, but I'm not sure actually about this. So on the other side, Food Please now scouting the base of Splay Buzzer. Of course, he already knows the location of the town center, so he will be wise to not run underneath the town center. Now he finds the wood line. He could be a little bit annoying, but that's also dangerous because of quick walling, and which he could easily lose the scout. Now on the other side, same thing happens. Splay Buzzer now looking for his opposing player. Of course, he doesn't know where the TC location is, so that's more of a risk for him. The villager gets one hit in, which can be important in the long run. But Splay Buzzer carefully scouting around, finding the villagers collecting from the elephant, so he basically has to know, okay, this is the location of the TC, so he will not run under there, and now Food Please thought about killing the Herdables, which of course he cannot do with his starting Scout Cavalry. Otherwise, even more laming would take place. Now Food Please building the barracks forward, maybe preparing for a drush. We have almost equal population with the first militia of Splay Buzzer already being created, so he's also going aggressive with 3 militia, I guess. However, I feel like these militia or these rushes come rather late, as both players are already, or Food Please is already clicked up to the feudal age. And Splay Buzzer actually delaying his feudal age for some reason. He already has 615 food in the bank and the town center idle. And he has not clicked up. 700 food in the bank, idling his villagers over here, and now finally clicking. So this could be one of the mistakes that he's making. A lot of idols over here, so this is basically resources you're not getting, that you're losing in the long run. I think he's too focused on this rush, which is rather late, and you can see that, of course, Food Please also preparing some militia in his barracks over here, and as he's reaching the feudal age, first he could upgrade to men-at-arms, but now what's this? 4 villages going ahead, and now the fight is starting, and there's the advantage for Splay Buzzer, and the villages are caught out. Of course they're fighting, but a villager could be picked here if this is microed correctly, but I guess there's too many red units in this part of the map, and the blue units have to leave. Now, these villages are, of course, preparing for a forward attack. I guess it's gonna be towers, as I guess the Food Please is already on stone, and yes, of course he is, because that's what he always does. Whereas on the other side, Splay Buzzer not yet on stone. He might be caught off guard by this. I mean, he obviously has his scouts in mind, and indeed he's dropping the stable. Now, Food Please idling his villages over here. This precious time he's losing. He has to get the tower up before the scouts come in, and so that he can pressure this front of the base of Splay Buzzer. Now losing his militia over here to the TC fire, and but the first tower will go up. There's a counter tower going up by Splay Buzzer, but the problem is Splay Buzzer cannot afford a second tower, as he's not collecting stone so far, and this stone is denied. This stone is quite far to the opposite side, so this could be dicey if this initial tower war is won by Food Please. However, he also prepares the Scout Cavalry, and he can just counter-attack here. Of course, Food Please tries to wall his base as best as he can, but maybe there's a hole over here. I'm not sure, but it looks like it. So I'm not sure if he knows if he's fully walled. He should test by clicking villager outside and see what happens. Now the Scout Cavalry is out there trying to pick this villager. There's a villager fighting over here. Scout Cavalry picking off the men-at-arms, and this doesn't look good for Food Please, to be honest. He lost villages here. He will lose this tower. This is interesting, but what he accomplishes with this is that these Scout Cavalries cannot pressure him at home. So even though he might lose this forward, he might be still in the better position by securing his safety at home. But let's compare the populations. Splay Buzzer actually 4 villages ahead. So Food Please might have idled his TC. I'm really not sure, but that's a quite low number for someone who's been in the feudal age for a couple of minutes already. And this tower not yet going down, but it's really messy. This villager will get picked off. This villager will get picked off. And the other ones try to run, but now they cannot run, they cannot hide. They can only try to quick walk, Viper style. But that's I'm not sure. I don't think that's within the capabilities of Food Please. There's a lonely spearman here. He could send this him in to aid this poor villager, which he does, but the villager will go down indeed. And now the scouts can freely counterattack. Whereas this attack has failed completely and miserably. And now, as I said, there might be a hole. Maybe Splay Buzzer just clicks inside and we'll find that he can just run in and pick off some villagers at the wood line, maybe at the berries, maybe at the gold here. Let's see what happens. 20 to 29 villagers, and indeed there is the hole that we expected. And oh, this is a disaster for Food Please. He fights with the villagers, but one villager will get picked off. Maybe a second villager will get picked off. He plugs the hole immediately, which is a very smart choice. However, it looks bad. He only has 19 villages. He's not producing. Or at least not producing enough. Very nice, quick wall, but with a stone wall. Oh, that's dicey. Losing this villager right underneath the TC. And he could still go in there and pick the gold miner. So doesn't look good for Food Please. Already a 400 points score lead here for Splay Buzzer, and he's still raiding with the scouts, finding another villager to pick, and maybe another one. Oh, this is so bad. Now only has one scout left, and there are spearmen out, but the economy is crippled. 19 to 32 villagers. I don't think this game will last too long. I think that the throne will be kept by Splay Buzzer, but maybe not. Maybe there is a comeback in the making over here. If Splay Buzzer takes his foot off the gas and lets Food Please come back into this game, as you can do by booming ahead, by just creating more economy, you can always come back. So Splay Buzzer focusing at home, building some nice farms over here, now switching into archers as he should. As Scout Cavalry lose their viability once enough spearmen are out. But yeah, it doesn't look good for Food Please. 21 to 35 villages, so not very good for Food Please. His economy doesn't look good. He has some random stone walls in the back of the base. There's still one militia in the front of his base checking out if he's trying to break out, but doesn't seem like there's any life left in Food Please's civilization over here. Yeah, only having 23 villages, and I think once those archers come out and start to pick off the villagers of Food Please, it will be GG. I mean, the score is already telling the story that we've seen. Food Please tried a brave attack here in the beginning, but Splay Buzzer just is the Arabia master, and he also got the perfect civilization with Mongols. So kind of a little bit unfair for Food Please getting the Vietnamese who are not, which are not considered to be one of the top civilizations on Arabia. And now the archers come in as expected. Splay Buzzer, of course, getting housed, but it doesn't matter. If you look at Food Please, only at 23 population. So I think that's it. Now the archers come in. They have +1 attack. And what can Food Please do? Nothing. He's trying to drop a market here, maybe squeeze out a blacksmith or archery range, but it really doesn't look good for him. And Splay Buzzer also now creating skirms, creating archers. Just needs to focus down one palisade and then he's in, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's completely safe at home. Food Please trying to get this archery range up, trying to get some skirms up, but the numbers of archers and skirms for Splay Buzzer is already way too high. So I don't think he will be able to come back now. Putting the blacksmith over here. to desperately close this gap, but I don't think this will be enough. Maybe this villager will die. No, it will not die yet. Now, Splay Buzzer already going up to the Castle H, and once he hits Castle H and researches crossbow and button arrow, this will be more than over. Blacksmith will fall to these archers alone, and Bootly so desperately behind, 26 to 43 villages. Yeah, I don't see how he will come back. And the problem was, it looked like he was idling his TC during the feudal age, and that's really costly. You always have to keep your TC working, even if you're aggressive. Even if you're douching, you have to keep your TC active. And now this mass of archers is in, and I think once Playbuzzer reaches the Castle H, Pooplies will call the GG. Now the archers diving in underneath the TC, fearless, but he can be fearless because there's nothing to defend from this ball of archers. He can now pick off this lonely gold miner. Pooplies has no resources, no gold, so he cannot even think about Castle Age. He has to stay in the feudal age and try to defend somehow cling on to this game with his life. But I think that with the Castle Age and the upgrades, it's gonna be GG. And look at the score difference. We're already at almost 1,000 point score difference, and the Castle Age is reached, and this has to be GG. Now, and that's exactly what happens. So GG, Splaybuzzer wins 2-1 against Food Please with the final game on Arabia, and what a series of games! What an amazing start to the Couch Cup.
Yeah.
Now the players are here. So, what do you think?
We are eager to look at the next best of 3. To watch the Gummy Bear versus Pino Host. Now it's time to relax for us. Now it's time to relax.
Yeah, relaxing indeed. And that was quite a crushing defeat. Playbuzzer defended amazingly well against this tower attack. And I miscalculated my economy. I sent too many villagers off of sheep, and then I didn't have any food.
Ah, okay.
And by that time, it's probably when I lost the game already. Yeah. So I'm very well defended from Playbuzzer, and then counter attack with the scouts in the hole really got me.
Yeah, the hole was really the problem. And if you look here, it's just idling the TC. I don't know what happened here, but yeah, that put you so far behind. You didn't have a chance there.
Yeah.
So
he clearly remains the king of Arabia until maybe one of you can take it off him.
All right. If we see a game 3. Yeah, so let's see what this tournament will bring in the next series of games, guys. So let's see your next game.
Yeah, that was an amazing start.
GG,
super hyped for
super hyped.
Gummy Bear versus Jordan.
Yeah.
All right, get hyped.